Hi everybody, welcome to the PRI Road Tour Highlight Show. I'm your host Ralph Shaheen here at the Speed Sports Studios in Mooresville, North Carolina. This is episode number 2. If you missed our first one, where we interviewed PRI's new president, Dr. Jamie Meyer, you would have learned that this year's 2020 PRI show unfortunately was canceled due to health concerns, as have many things this season due to the pandemic. Well, you know, racers are resilient, and even though many in the industry were concerned about how they would be able to market their products, parts, pieces, and services to the racing community, the great folks at PRI got together and decided to bring the PRI show to you through the PRI Road Tour. They're out on the road for some 70 days, helping to bring all the car manufacturers, car parts builders, racers, and yes, you the race fans, the latest happenings within the world of PRI. And we're trying to bring that all together for you in a condensed format with our PRI Road Tour highlight show from here at Speed Sport. Now in episode number 2, we're going to kick things off by taking you out to Lucas Oil Raceway Park, where our good buddy, 3-time NHRA champion Antron Brown is trying to continue his family's legacy and love for the sport of drag racing with his kids. So let's go right now to Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Here's Antron.
I'm Antron Brown.
I'm Adler Brown.
I'm Antron Brown, and I am PRI. This is the PRI Road Tour. I'm Antron Brown, 3-time NHRA Top Fuel World Champion. I think my favorite racing moment, you know, it goes back to when, I want to say my first time and my first win in the Top Fuel Dragsters. Racing the Top Fuel Dragster because I never ever thought that I will ever be there, period. And I was literally living a dream, taking it down a racetrack, but let alone win a national event in a Top Fuel car. That was the all-time moment. Where I see the race industry in 1 year, I will see it's going to be a lot better than what it is today. The race industry has survived, and I think they even got stronger through the COVID-19 that we all have battled as a worldly group together. And I think 2021 is just going to be bust out year with fans, with the race teams. They're going to put 110% in everything they do because they know tomorrow's not guaranteed, especially what we went through in 2020.
I see the racing industry 1 year from now. I think it's going to be more out there.
Every year, I feel like racing gets better and better in safety and in performance.
My favorite racing moment with my kids is every time I'm at the racetrack. I would say my favorite moment when we were back in, I'd say 2017, we won the 10 to 12-year-old championship at the Midwest Junior Super Series with my son Anson, and we came in 5th place in points. In the last race, we took it all the way down to the final round and we won the championship by winning the semifinals. And it was the coolest moment to be in that moment with him. We were all there doing it together. And then see that moment when he did it where he came from behind. It was pretty incredible. And I mean, that was an all-time moment as a family with my kids. Oh man, I mean, PRI, I think is like the Holy Grail. And that's what it means to me, is anything and everything in performance, leading edge technology, and just a family. It's our community that keeps us driving us forward, is PRI.
All this is like a family sport because we're there for each other and we're the only people there. So I find it very cool because my dad races, but I also race. So I just find it very fun and just very cool that I get the same opportunity he does.
We get to do cool handshakes and it's fun because he makes it a learning experience for me.
Up, down, forward, and then we go boom,
Boom.
and then we go like this. Come on, man, you gotta go up and down like this. What you doing? And then you go, ha! The best advice I could ever give to somebody starting out in the racing industry or the performance industry is to never sit idle, to always go out there and try and to do new things. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's what the performance industry is built on. It's trial and error, and that's what it's called, R&D. Research and development. You always don't go forward. Sometimes you take 4 steps back to go a half step forward. And that's what makes the performance industry what it is. So never settle, never sit idle, and to always press forward. And the only way you beat resistance is with persistence.
No truer words can be spoken when you have a goal you're trying to reach. It's great to see a father passing on his love and passion for a sport along with his skills and knowledge to his sons while keeping them focused and making it fun at the same time. Good job, Antron. It's going to be a lot of fun watching your boys grow up through the world of drag racing in the coming years. You know, speaking of drag racing, when you think about how fast those vehicles are traveling these days down the racetrack, and to think of all the stress and strain those components and pieces and parts are under while achieving those high speeds, it's truly amazing. And if you have a product failure, a parts failure somewhere along the way, well, the results can be catastrophic at the least. In the world of drag racing, you got to have the best. And when it comes to top flight components in racing, Strange Engineering is one of the best in the business. And we make them our next stop on our highlight tour around the country with the PRI Road Tour, a company out of Illinois that started in the late 1950s with one man in a garage.
Strange Engineering began in a two-car garage in Evanston with Bob Stange. He built it into what we are today. From being a one-man shop in a garage in the late 50s, he incorporated Strange Engineering in 1964. We celebrated our 50th anniversary a few years ago, and where we are today is just a culmination of everything that he's put together. All the innovation, the priorities of keeping racers safe, making a strong part, making something that's affordable to the racer, but not sacrificing any quality at the same time. The priority to keep people on the track and keep them safe has always been what Strange Engineering is about. In the 60s, we primarily focused on driveline. There was a lot of axles, rear ends. We actually even did some spoke wheels back in the day. But the driveline, suspension, braking systems, we keep expanding into steering boxes and spindles, and just continually evolving and expanding our line is really where our focus has been at. We have our core product line, and as the demands of the racers change, we need to change along with it, and that's where our product lines begin to evolve. Things in our brake systems, things in our rear end housings, things in our suspension line, and that's important that we continue to strive to meet the needs of today's racers in order to stay relevant and to stay at the top of our game. Always been about the racers, it's always been about the people, and that's what I take away. It's just, the friendship and the camaraderie between, everybody that we come in contact with is by far my favorite part.
Along the way with the 2020 PRI Road Tour, we've learned that it's the people that make the racing industry so great. And the folks at Strange Engineering are no different. Their commitment to performance and safety to take care of the racing industry is fantastic. Great job, gang. Way to go. And thanks for your commitment and passion for drag racing and the racing industry. Well, our next stop, our final stop on this edition of the PRI Road Tour Highlight Show from here at the Speed Sports Studios is Paul's High Performance up in Michigan. Now, these guys love doing anything they can to turn up the performance with anything involved with a motor. Their latest project involves a 7.3-liter monster shoved into an engine bay. I bet that piqued your interest a little bit. Here's a little feature that is sure to light a fire under your rear end.
Paul Svinicki, Paul's High Performance. Been doing this my whole life, and love going fast and anything mechanical. Love engines, technology, and anything that's new. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, a lawnmower or 8-second car. It doesn't matter. Anything with an engine and performance. So I'd been following the 7.3 program, you know, push rod, big bore, 446 cubic inches, you know, big valves, big ports. I'd seen flow numbers and all that. It worked out where, you know, you're gonna need someone for programming. You talk to Ollie, so you're gonna need a harness and programming, how you're gonna make all this work. Because I mean, the oil pump on it is run by the computer.
I didn't know Paul when we started this, but I'm very impressed about what I've seen, and the commitment and the technical level of the company is very impressive, I find. We've known this engine for quite some time now, and we have had time to develop our control strategies in the electronics to handle the engine. We can run the engine with all existing sensors and actuators on the engine. We don't have to change anything on the engine. And that has been quite interesting for people that want to try to take a crate engine and see how it runs, for in this example, in a drag racing car. And for us, it was a straightforward job installing the electronics and the ECU in the car. Paul did the hard work in fitting the engine and making exhaust fit in the car that was designed for something completely different.
1st of August is when we got the car, took it all apart. So we fabbed all the parts, put the engine in. Ollie came on board a few weeks ago. A couple hours later, it's running. We went to the track, we had some issues, not really mechanical stuff, more like wiring, because we were trying to wire into the Cobra Jet part of it, and then their stuff, and it didn't work. So I said, well, let's just put your stuff on 100% the whole way. So they came last Friday. We went up and down this road until there was, you know, nothing left of it. And so we went to Milan, you know, this week. Which was Wednesday, and we went a 1099 and a 1097, and they just were floored that production truck engine could do it. So there's more to be had, but we went 10s with a production engine, so we're the first to get a 7.3 in a car running, and then we were the first to go to the track, and then at least we made it into the 10s. Selling the engine is a crate program, so I think it's going to be as popular or more popular than the 5-liter, which I know a lot of people are going to raise their eyebrows about that, but cubic inches don't lie, torque doesn't lie. It's going to be a really nice package.
Man, can you imagine running that Mustang Cobra Jet down your local drag strip? That thing can smoke the tires right off the car. Thanks to the guys at Paul's High Performance up in Michigan for inviting us in and letting us check out what they're working on. Fantastic car. Can't wait to see what's next. Well, unfortunately, that's going to wrap up this edition of our PRI Road Tour highlight show from here at our Speed Sports studios. Make sure you tune in each week to find out where the PRI crew is out on the road, around the country, see who they're talking to, catch the latest stories, and find out what's coming out in the marketplace. We'll have it all for you each week from right here at our Speed Sports studios. Until then, here's a little teaser of what you can expect to see in the weeks to come. For everybody at PRI and here at Speed Sport, I'm Ralph Shaheen. See you next week.
M1 Concourse is an 87-acre automotive enthusiast playground. So 173 private garage condos. They surround our 1.5-mile racetrack.
This place is special. I enjoy everybody that works here. Each time I come here, I actually have like a secret agenda of what corner I'm going to get better at and all that kind of stuff, because we never stop learning.
Yeah. We've just embarked on a new chapter of our development. We broke ground about 2 months ago on a 28,000 square foot event center and restaurant. Putting the restaurant here will allow the public to come in essentially 7 days a week. There'll be a rooftop patio that overlooks the track, so it'll make it very accessible to our local motorsports community. So both the corporate side and the public side are the next big expansions for M1, so we're really looking forward to that. Yeah.
You're in the racing central. So the biggest thing is the friends that I have. If I never would have gotten into racing, I'd live in a bubble that was whatever size, and I'd know some people here or there or whatever. I'm Tom Bailey.
I'm Johnny O'Connell.
I am Jordan Zlatoff, and I am PRI.